Philip Kennedy Johnson reveals the big bad of his new story arc this issue, pitting Superman against Metallo in a one-on-one battle to save the Super Twins. Again, Johnson taps back into the stuff he built with Warworld Saga, bringing back the Genesis power for a cool little scene that shows off how it acts as a power-up to Superman and gives him a cool new power that is kind of like a JoJo stand that helps him in battle. Little ties like that back to Warworld are always appreciated and help make the stories feel a bit more cohesive. The crux of the story is Clark and Metallo's battle though, and I love that it tapped into the core of Superman, which is to always help those in need, even if those in need are the villains. So Johnson writes a fantastic set of scenes where Superman talks it out with Metallo, imparting some of his kindness and humility into the villain, and like I assumed what would happen, agrees to help find Tracy. This brings us round to the big villain of the story, which is revealed to be Cyborg Superman, who joins the book as the one manipulating everything. I'm very excited to see a devious and violent Hank Henshaw back in action and learning a little bit more about his motivations in the next issue and where he fits in the tapestry of the Warworld Saga story. Max Raynor tags in as the book's artist for the issue and easily matches Ivan Reyes and Riccardo Federici's energy, especially with the fantastic action, adapting the more body horror-centric Metallo into a more action-friendly version that can go toe-to-toe with Superman. I loved his depiction of Clark's powers, specifically his superheroing, which we see in a lovely double-page spread that shows off most of Metropolis, and also slyly made some references to Williamson's Superman ongoing with the Supercorp building there in the background, kind of connecting it all up together. Action Comics issue 1054 was another fantastic fast-paced action-orientated issue that tapped into the core of Superman's mission and showcased the kindness he shows everyone, including his villains. I'm going to give this issue a 10 out of 10. Action Comics issue 1054 finds Othel continuing her rampage through the Blue Earth protest as Lisa Lombard covers the event for the Daily Planet, citing the attacker is one of the Super Twins. John and Othel arrive to calm her, and John thinks that she might have killed someone, blaming himself for allowing this to happen. He tells the Super Twins to stay close since they have to make this right. He rushes to help an injured man up, but he is revealed to be one of Metallo's Necro drones, who blasts Superman with his kryptonite beams. More drones appear, telling the trio that they walked right into their trap. The drones tell John that Superman stole their maker's family, so he will steal his. Lois and Clark, meanwhile, make their way through the screaming crowds, asking what's going on. Clark can see fires as well as the kids, speeding off as the twins take on a drone while the others swarm John, who tells them to call their boss since he will have to take them himself. A souped-up Metallo appears, telling John that he was always a get-his-hands-dirty kind of guy. He smashes Superman down, grabbing the Super Twins and teleporting away as Clark arrives to see them disappear. Clark and John continue to beat back the drones, and John is adamant that he go and find the kids, since this was all his fault. He tells his father that the twins think he hates them for replacing him, but he doesn't, and he just needs to be the one to find them. Clark understands, but the people need him there, so he will go after the kids as he doesn't want his son facing Metallo alone, and his Necro drones will burn the entire neighborhood down without them there. He tells John to bring the rest of the family in to help with the drones, listening to his son's heartbeat. Clark knows that his son will get this done, taking to the skies and listening for the Super Twins' heartbeats, listening all across the town until he finds them in an old LexCorp R&D lab across the river. He hears the third monstrous sound of an engine as he smashes into the base, confronting Metallo. Superman asks what's happened to the villain, but the hologram of Tracy tells him that Superman is going to lie to him. Metallo demands that Superman free his sister from prison or he'll kill the kids, but Tracy knows that Superman won't follow his orders, so he should just kill them all anyway. Superman can clearly see that something is affecting Metallo and controlling him, offering to help the villain, but that makes Metallo even angrier, causing him to scream that Superman is no hero and no living thing should have all the power he has, and beneath that good guy act, he's just as much a monster as he is. Metallo unleashes his kryptonite blast, but Superman uses some of the Genesis energy to punch right through Metallo's chest. The villain thinks that Superman is finally going to kill him, but Superman says that his new heart is that of an orphan box, and while it's powered with kryptonite, it's made from Genesis, which gives the hero a bit of extra power, enough to overcome the effects of the kryptonite. Superman unleashes his new power in the form of a giant construct of himself, grabbing Metallo and telling him his mother always told him that no one likes a show-off, but sometimes a bully needs to know they are not as tough as they think. Superman smashes Metallo into the wall, using his heat vision to break apart his armor and cut the connection to the orphan box. The hologram Tracy tells John that he seems to be addicted to being a loser, but this hasn't been a total waste, revealing that the DNA bonding they made for his new body was of great use to them in the right host. The beaten Metallo tells Superman that he did it again. He saved his family while his is as good as dead. He wants the hero just to get it over with, and Superman asks what he's supposed to do, asking the villain if he thinks he's going to humiliate him, but he won't, since whatever strength he has doesn't belong to him. It belongs to those who need it, and right now, Metallo needs it the most. He grabs one of Metallo's lost arms, fitting it back onto the villain's body as he tells him that he will answer for his crimes, but Tracy needs them both now. Metallo asks why Superman would ever help him after he almost killed his whole family. Superman knows that anyone else would just do the same, but John knows that he wouldn't. Clark thinks that he wouldn't yet, at least, helping up the villain. He promises to find Tracy, but first they need to shut down the Necro drones. Metallo can't though, since he doesn't have control over them anymore. Whoever is though, is the one imprisoning Tracy. Elsewhere, Tracy comes face to face with her captor, who says that John really believed that this body was for him, and it's made with Warworld tech and from his DNA, but the flesh was made from the blood from Metallo's fists, not John Corbin's DNA. The captor is revealed to be Cyborg Superman, who hoped that the body would be more finished before his endgame, but they are now out of time, and since John failed, he wants to see what use Tracy can be.